Hi. Welcome to Glass Break, a new series for all topics related to glass. Take a break from the busy day and join us as we watch amazing art come to life.
Hey everyone, welcome to Glass Break. This week we'll be taking a look at a piece that the Hot Shop team created for visiting artist Shawn Brigman. The piece will be a Sturgeon nose canoe made out of glass. To get started, let's hear about the project and Shawn's work in general from the artist himself.
My name's Shawn Brigman. I'm a Spokane tribal member, and I also descend from many of the local plateau tribes from the eastern Washington area. In our traditional heritage, the phenomenon is called our sumesh, and it's not something we're supposed to reveal all the details about it, but I can reveal that it happened when I was 4.5 on a preschool field trip. And it stayed with me all the way through high school into my 20s, 30s, and 40s. It's an invisible spirit that basically follows me and pretty much inspires me and keeps me going. For example, it inspired me to go into School of Architecture. I went on to my master's degree at the University of Idaho. And with my master's degree, I wanted to focus on culturally relevant recreation. And so with culturally relevant recreation, I went out and I recovered some of our traditional built environment heritage, like tule mat lodges, pit houses, and canoes. And so the whole purpose of that was to get us back into our culturally relevant heritage. And it just kept growing from there. And the sumesh phenomenon, I trust it, I know it's real, and that's what keeps me going.
So this is what actually got me started, was my tule mat lodge work in 2005.
With me, it's a combination of my School of Architecture background, model making, drawing making, and then that's combined with my industriousness. I've always been a hard worker, and so my art form is to actually go out and get some of these traditional materials, which requires hard work to go harvest and process the materials. And so I'm pretty much self-taught. I've attended a lot of workshops where you can piece together how to start working with some of the materials, like cedar root, or how to harvest bark. But when it came time to actually make the bark canoe, I had to tap into my architectural background. The Plateau Culture region where I'm from, our region is kind of invisible, not necessarily marginalized, but it's really invisible. I'm just appreciative of the opportunity to assist with putting the Plateau Culture area on the map. Really what it is it just adds confidence that the Museum of Glass would consider me as a natural artist. So that in itself is empowering, just to be invited to collaborate with another discipline.
That was great. We really love hearing about artists' work in their own words. The team started out with some light blue colored glass. They're going to want this piece to be fairly large, so they're going to take several gathers. And a gather, or gathering glass, is when the workers collect glass from the furnace using the blowpipe. They go to the bench, begin to blow air into the mass. Then they use tools such as the wooden blocks and the wet newspaper to shape and begin forming their piece. Next, Gable uses jacks to create a constriction he can later utilize to break the piece free or transfer it to a different pipe. This piece in particular will have a rather interesting transfer. They've carefully stretched and elongated the glass. They're going to roll it on the paper marver, and that's going to help even it out. Gabe makes a mark on the pipe with a piece of chalk. This will help him identify the top and the bottom.
And then we'll stretch it. Let me think about this for a minute. So the top.
So as we can see, making this shape might not be as easy as it sounds.
Alright, the top is where the chalk mark is.
It takes a lot of planning, a good amount of patience, and some very skilled hands. Gabe presses on the glass with the cork paddles. It's allowing him to shape the round form into more of a convex shape. starts pulling out a point using the diamond shears. Once again, utilizing the paper marver, this time to bring a flatness to the top of the piece. From this angle, you can really get a good idea of how challenging this form is to make. He uses a tungsten rod drilled into the glass. This will be a spot they can continue to add air. It's like a little cup, and they're going to seal it and turn it into like a little bubble. Drill another hole in that, and that's where they're going to stick the punty. That extra piece they attached is going to let them connect the punty without disturbing the end of the piece that they just worked on. Okay, take his tweezers, dip them in water, put them on that jack line we saw him make earlier, give a little tap. Now they can work on the other end of the piece. They're going to get it nice and hot, get a good look at that punty there. They'll add a good bit of air with the soffietta, make that end more full. They attached another punty to the end, this one just temporary for stretching. They pull out that end a little bit longer. Gabe clips it free, and they begin shaping it the same way they did with the first side. Back and forth, working to make everything even, shaping with the cork paddles, pulling a bit with the diamond shears, flattening and leveling with the paper marver. It's definitely looking like a canoe now. Our visiting artist is happy with it. Gabe is happy with it. They'll break it free from the blowpipe for the final time and walk it into the annealing oven. It'll cool down slowly overnight. When they first came up with the idea, they weren't sure how it was going to be displayed. So what happened after it cooled down is it went through a cold working process. The top opening of the canoe was carefully cut out, was given a slight matte finish, and they decided to display it vertically. So they cut the bottom, allowing it to stand.